Steel River is located in northern Ontario, just north of Lake Superior. This rarely paddled canoe route would take us from Santoy Lake up Diablo Portage, a grueling portage with a big climb at the start, portaging into Cairngorm Lake to Steel Lake, and then turning south down the Steel River. This river is free-flowing with steep canyons and a rugged bedrock terrain, flowing into a 20-meter waterfall, Rainbow Falls, and meandering down through several large log jams back into Santoy Lake. This is our experience.
So we're at the start of our Steel River trip, which we've been super excited for and planning for months. This trip has a lot to look forward to. There's a good mix of lake paddling to get up a little ways, and then there's going to be some pretty interesting river work coming back down. This is Santoy Lake, which serves as the launch point up Diablo Portage, which you're going to hear a lot about. And then at the far end of the lake, which we can't even see from here, there's this beautiful beach that you can see from satellite imagery that just looks incredible. So we got that to look forward to at the end of the trip. Along the way, we're going to be staying at Diablo Lake, of course, after the portage, Cairngorm, up on Steel Lake, and then a few spots down along the Steel River. We're expecting this trip to take us about 7 nights, but as always, we're prepared if it takes an extra day. Like I said, we're super excited to be up here. It's been a long drive, but I think we're all ready for what's to come.
We're just hanging out right at the put-in. We got the chair set up. We're enjoying the last couple of the real-life commodities from the drive up. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're taking off east in the north, up Santoy and up Diablo. We've just been talking about it. We're really excited to do it. Just talking about the highlights of the trip, what we expect, and in particular what fish we're excited to catch. Hopefully that comes true. But just enjoying the last couple minutes of sunlight, another half an hour or so before the sun truly sets.
Morning everyone, Matt with MadforMaple here. It's day 1 of our Steel River trip. We're very excited. We're just on Santoy Lake leaving this morning. It is just about 8 o'clock leaving right now, boats packed and everything. Very buggy and pretty cold last night. Much colder than expected for sure. But we're excited, clear skies ahead right now, and ready to crush Diablo Portage today.
Currently facing some very strong headwinds on Santoy Lake. Diablo Portage has a strong barrier to entry.
Definitely not accessible.
Not easily accessible. Almost getting there, and it looks like we're going to be climbing between 2 very large hills. See you there.
We're at the base of Diablo Portage. We just paddled up this crazy headwind, and some of us are excited, some of us aren't for this portage. We're going to take it in 3 chunks. Apparently there's this big gain in elevation, so we're going to take all this stuff up, and then we're going to do the rock garden second, and then last is a big boulder field. So one step at a time, and we have all day to do this trip. We're just portaging on the other, or we're just camping on the other side. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
Done trip 1 of segment 1 of the Diablo Portage, and we're not feeling too bad right now, but it will certainly be tough with the canoes. Done section 1, all the gears up the hill, exhausted. For this entire portage, we're extremely grateful that it's not raining, because if it was, we would have many, many more falls and sprained ankles for sure. And even some of the rocks under these ferns here are pretty wet. Oh my God. Quick cliff bar to get the stuff about halfway through the ferns, I guess, and then into the boulder field towards the end.
We're roughly, we think, about 850 meters through the Diablo Portage. The last 500 meters was a filled with potholes. Lots of fern coverage on the ground and lots of jagged rocks and foot traps. So we've been taking it nice and slow. We're taking a little bit of a breather now. Apparently there's supposed to be a boulder farm up ahead. So we're expecting to do some hopping. I think we're going to keep going with the packs we've got right now until we either hit that boulder farm or get to the end of the portage. Then we'll double back for the boats and the barrels. Otherwise, honestly, this has been pretty enjoyable. And I'm choosing to ignore the existence of all bugs.
Way to go.
Fucking hell there.
Cheers to finishing Diablo.
We made it.
Way to go, team.
Good stuff. Easy peasy.
Feels good, man.
Like nothing.
I wouldn't say nothing. I mean, for me personally, this was definitely going to be a highlight of the trip. My sense of pride and accomplishment is immense.
How many cream cheeses did you say we were having for this lunch? Like half of it?
No, the entire thing.
The entire thing. I have to like remember to eat more. We're at the campsite. We've been here for a few hours now. Diablo kind of kicked our ass, so we're all tired. Took a hard nap, but we have recuperated. Spirits are high, and we're starting to cook up dinner. I have absolutely no idea what time it is, but we're starting to get hungry, so I guess it's dinner o'clock. And burritos for dinner today. The wind still hasn't died down. Maybe it's died down a little, but it's still coming from the north. So we're hoping for a bright and early start tomorrow to try and avoid that. Here's dinner for the night. It is some Yves ground beef with bell peppers of a colored variety, as well as some mushrooms. Avocado and cilantro to garnish makes the dish round, and a little bit of sriracha. Woo! Look at that!
That's beautiful.
I don't know, are we keeping them, boys, or he's going back?
You're gonna put them back. It's a nice color.
First brick out. There's some good white water along the river, but there's also a lot of like fast moving current.
Planned this day to be pretty short, and it was. So we launched off at the south end of Santoy from the access point. Paddled about 7 kilometers north to get to the portage. The paddle up Santoy Lake was more challenging than expected. Very, very windy. And 2 hours later, we had all of our gear in the canoes through Diablo Portage. Quite a climb. Quite honestly, very challenging portage. But we had budgeted basically the entire day today to get to this campsite. That's all for now. Day 1, I think, is a wrap. We're going to brush teeth and call it a night.
Morning everyone, Matt here. It's about 7 o'clock and we just took off from the campsite on Diablo Lake to get going. We have about 3 portages and maybe 15, 20, 25 kilometers depending on which site we pick on Cairngorm Lake, and we're gonna get into it. Woke up extra early today to beat the strong winds that were around yesterday. Unsure if they'll be here again. So I'm just starting the second load of gear from Diablo Lake. Going up a little bit of elevation. Portage was muddy, but overall a lot better than Diablo Portage. We are a little bit more separated on this one, a little less organized. That's okay. I hear the guys in the distance all yelling, "Whoa, bear!" So go bear safety. And yeah, two more portages after this one. I think one's 200, one's 150, so relatively quick. This one's 800. And then we are on Cairngorm Lake. I'll make sure we're pronouncing that one right. Which apparently has good fishing. And still pretty early in the morning, which is good because the wind has not picked up yet. Cairngorm runs north to south, and if we were to get the same winds that we were getting from the north yesterday on Cairngorm, I imagine we would be windbound. So bright and early, it's probably, I don't know, 7:45, 8 o'clock right now. And already an 800 meter portage in the books.
Just finished a great portage, paddled across with
stagnant pond and bugs are out, but we're feeling good.
We're on portage number 2. Supposed to be 200 meters or so, and pretty buggy. Moving along. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you put it like on your knees and then flip up, it's less like muscly and more of just a flip. Oh, I see. Somewhere on portage number 3, going into Cairngorm Lake.
The courses, like you'll take French for government basically, and they'll design the courses around, what the f going here? Around those tests. If that makes sense. Excellent form.
Excellent form.
You starting now?
Post-portage, hanging out on the entrance to Cairngorm Lake, and water's tasting like the best drink in the world right now.
Water is the best drink in the world. Welcome to Cairngorm Lake. We made it through the 3 portages today. They were okay, but we definitely were tired after them, so lots of snacks. That's why we took a little break here, but now that we've kind of refueled, recharged, took some casts with no luck, we're about to hop back in the canoes and paddle up Cairngorm for maybe another 10, possibly 15 kilometers. So let's see, look, just depends on how we're feeling, what the weather's like, what the wind's like. That's a big fish. We have a black bean chili for dinner tonight, including dehydrated carrots, bell peppers, potatoes, black beans, and with some fresh Yves ground beef.
We finished dinner, finished the dishes, just enjoying the fire and the sunset right now and the nice mountains and landscape around us. We're pretty far north and the sun has been setting very late because we are about 10 or 12 days past the solstice and it's still very bright and it's about 9:30 right now and we think the sun's been actually setting at around 11 p.m.
Morning, guys.
Morning. It's about 6:20 right now. We have another day of about 3 portages and 15 to 20 kilometers to the campsite on Steel Lake, which we'll be staying tonight. And we're looking forward to it. Potentially another nice day of sun and clouds and out here enjoying it. Everyone's feeling well and doing good.
We're just taking off from the
site, morning of day 3, and the site once again ended up being on the next point from where it was marked, and then the little narrow that we're going up is directly in front of us right now, but it was a slightly makeshift campsite, but it still worked out pretty well. This is the exact time of day right before a portage where Cam is perfectly bungling around.
Portage number 1, attempting to one trip. It's clear someone's been through here before and cut up a bunch of logs for us, so that's always good. Pretty muddy and heavy. Good.
Watch your eyes, okay?
Yeah. Good.
Pretty steep.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Actually, Tennyson, do you want to go where the water's moving?
Yeah, let's do it.
Slide down this.
Okay, we'll do the water.
We'll do the water. We do.
We'll let you know how it goes.
I got it. You know what? That was probably the best call for us to do it on 2 different spots. What has a mouth but never eats? What has a bed but never sleeps? What has a head but never talks? And has
Something about like waiting.
something about walking?
Walking.
Something never walks? The answer is a river. And we're about to go on one.
There's arms but no hands.
Does a river have arms?
Oh, branches but no leaves.
It's another one to it.
We can go all day, boys. This is a little, I guess, logging road, some sort of smaller sized road, which cuts right through our route. There's a big swamp over there. We just saw a moose. That was a really cool experience. It hung around for a while, stared at us, gave us a good couple good photo opportunities with some poses. And we were worried that, or at least I was worried, that we were going to have to portage through this kind of the swampy area over there through the alders, but as soon as the swampy area turned into a kind of more forested area, more rocky area, the river started falling, and that's where the portage was. So in all, it was a-okay. There's quite a significant feature here on the river underneath the bridge, so we're just taking our time enjoying that. The trail is maintained by an indigenous group in the area, the name of which I will remember later. And they're fantastic trails, doing really well, really easy to follow, and with cairns and even sign markings throughout.
So earlier we saw a really awesome moose sighting right over in that direction where the marshy swamp is. And as we were starting the portage, we noticed some moose tracks. So you take a look down here, you can see this huge footprint left in the ground. Still really fresh, it's really soft soil. This was probably left by the moose this morning or yesterday. And we think that the moose probably walked along this way into the river and then went up that way to feed, and that's where we saw it.
Ready?
Yep. We've made it about halfway down Steel Lake. It's super hot outside. We're starting to feel the exhaustion, but because of that, we've decided to take an extended lunch. So we made some bannock, which everyone enjoyed. Senishin mixed it. Thank you, Matt. Boiling some water for some coffee, and just kind of finishing off the rest of our fresh food, some carrots and some dips. And we rehydrated some homemade hummus. Everyone enjoyed it, so I'm happy with that. We're just gonna hang out for the next, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. Really take our time because it's going to be hot, and we need to not push ourselves. It's going to result in pressure moving out. So there needs to be a maintenance of pressure, and the force of gravity is a product of...
We just got to the campsite and finished setting up our tents. The campsite was not at the marked spot, and we found a very manageable campsite, but it's absolutely not the best. Today was a very long day, and there is a lot of rain in the forecast and a headwind for tomorrow morning. We also have to make a lot of distance tomorrow morning, make about 12 kilometers, then 3 portages again, then stretching down the river for some Swifts, Class 1s, and a few portages here and there, I think. And tomorrow we might be aiming for Listowel Rapids, I think, but for now we're just gonna set up the tents, pray for no rain until we go to bed, and get dinner going in a bit.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
We're taut. She's taut. Got the barbs hard, eh?
Oh, that's a good looking.
Oh!
It's another pike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just bring it into shore. Bring it in, land it.
Landed.
Land that puppy.
Landed.
Oh!
It's bigger than last one.
Oh my
Is it?
god.
Holy shit.
Is it bigger?
Oh yeah, let's go on shore so we
fuck.
don't get ourselves in the back of it.
God damn, Cam.
Nice.
Dining on some delicious whitefish tonight.
Almost comes up. Oh, there's bones in this one. Whoops. But today we have red lentil curry for dinner. Not much to say except jam-packed full of red lentils, dehydrated peppers, cauliflower, and tomatoes with a secret spice, which is store-bought curry paste, and some coconut milk. So we're excited. This meal has been impressive in years prior. So we're excited to do it again. And we've just finished the fish, but I think we're all still pretty hungry. So ready to eat again.
Are we eating bannock tonight?
It does not taste good. I've tried.
What do you know about that?
Are you kidding me?
100%.
Buddy.
It's 100% a blue walleye.
Oh my god. No way.
That is a beautiful fish.
Right there.
Oh my god.
Okay, so put it.
Yeah, put it back. You're doing all the hard work for me.
I like this a lot. It's been another great day up on the Steel River Loop. We woke up this morning at the northern end of Cairngorm Lake, and we've gone about 35 kilometers, I believe, maybe a little less than that, once you include portage to make our way up here. About 2/3 of the way up Steel Lake, camping on a actually pretty nice island site, all things considered. We had a lot of highlights today, actually. It was a great day. We started things off with a couple of portages going through some beaver ponds, and along the way stumbled upon a cow moose who was actually pretty inquisitive and curious about us before I think she scented us or smelled us and scurried off into the woods. But we got some great photos, and it's stuff like that where it kind of pays to be quiet, because you never know what you're going to bump into, especially way up here where it's super remote. After that, we continued on and hit a beaver dam with surprising diameter or circumference. Honestly, an incredible piece of work for those critters to put together a structure that held up that much water. About, I think, a 4, maybe even 5 foot drop, to be honest. It was a pretty good, pretty solid structure. We already know, with the weather turning the way it has been, if you can't tell, we're under a tarp, sheltering from the rain, that there is some rain coming, and with that, very high likelihood of a headwind in the morning. So we're going to continue doing what we've done, getting up at 5:30 in the morning so we can hit the water at 7, make some good progress before the afternoon picks up. So tomorrow looks like another big day, but I think we've scaled back our sort of objective where we want it to end up, so that we'll spread out a little bit more distance on the rest of the trip, and I think make tomorrow a little bit more reasonable. Of course, it's also worth mentioning that we've had some fishing highlights today. Cam managed to snag another delicious northern pike, which we fried up as an appetizer before dinner, which went very well, before eating what was a red lentil curry. And after dinner, he did it again. He snagged a beautiful blue walleye, really a special fish with a beautiful coloration on its back, and honestly on its belly as well. So a lot of good stuff today. Really enjoyable part of the trip. More to come, and the way things have been going, there's a lot to look forward to.
This is such a useful recap.
Morning, guys. Day 4 of summer vacation. Just woke up. Coffee, oatmeal, the Grand Prix, and everyone's morning routine has been in check. Boats are loaded and we're ready to go and have a silver cloudy day out here. Coffee, sir? I'd say.
There you go. That's a pretty good pour.
We're done this morning's paddle and we're just about to start the first of 3 portages.
On the very first portage of the day, there's what looks like a technical class 2 beside us. There wasn't much deliberation on actually shooting it. We don't have a true and proper whitewater setup on this trip, so another time and a place it'd be a fun one. But here we are, the barrels are light, so portaging is relatively easy right now. And yeah, the rain's kind of on and off at this point, so the rocks are slippery, but we're taking our time. We're still 2 tripping. And the bugs are not good right now. How you feeling?
Portage is tough when it's wet.
Yeah,
Matt. Slipping and sliding on all the routes, and almost took myself at one time.
Whittle, what do you think of the Portage?
It's alright. Kind of like there's a good little mudslide.
Yeah, that was sketchy, eh?
A little.
Yeah. Cool.
I didn't feel safe.
Let's put it that way. Cool. All right. Trip 2, Portage 2, Love and Life, buffs on. Okay, we're going. Hot. Hard, hard. Yep, yep, good, good, good. Draw, draw. Thank you. Backward, backward. Draw, draw. Thank you. Forward. Okay, forward. Backwards, backwards. Okay, and we're gonna go down the right here, down this V. Okay. Backwards, backwards. Yep, forwards, forwards. Hard, 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 hard. Thank you. Okay. Woo! Woo!
We're just stopping for lunch out here on a sandbar on the side of the lake, and we just finished all 3 portages and we're getting ready for some lunch right now. The sun just came out and all vibes are very good right now. Enjoying summer vacation a lot.
That's right. A little splishy splash.
Yeah. We're also at the apex of the Steel River right now. That's where we float into the Steel River, and that is where we're gonna continue and go down the Steel River. It's all downriver from here.
Okay, you got it good. So just in the middle here. Alright, can I get a backwards paddle? Here.
Dead center.
All good, thank you. Alright, we're gonna go backwards for this. Keep the paddle in the water. Thank you.
At some point we have to set.
Okay.
How are you supposed to do? We didn't improvise that.
I don't know, let's have fun, eh?
Were you treading water while you did that?
A little bit.
That's if it works pretty fucking well. I think I'm wearing my raincoat to keep me dry.
Cam and Duncan were practicing some eddying in and out of the rapids and took a spill for the worst, but they're okay and in good spirits and did not lose anything, so all's well. Nice.
I'm gonna need a crossbow in a second, I think.
Yeah.
Now. Too much? Yeah, that's good. Good.
We've made it to our first site on the river for day 4 after about 7K of traveling downriver. And it's a pretty decent site for what we had last night. It is pretty buggy and right next to a set of rapids, so we'll hear that later tonight. And yeah, we're just getting set up and maybe we'll have some snacks, make some tea, take a nap, play some cards, enjoy the day.
That was a lot of fun. It's all like tipping's always a learning experience.
Boys, could really go for some tea right now.
Tonight for dinner, split pea soup. In our split pea soup, we have broccoli, regular potato, carrots, which are already rehydrating, some bell peppers, as well as our split peas. Of the pan right now.
Yeah, so leave a single mark.
On this trip, there are 3 major milestones. Finishing Diablo Portage, making it to the Steel River, and making it back to Santoy Lake. And we have just completed the second of those 3 major milestones, so we have some tequila to properly celebrate.
Daily update here. We spent last night on this campsite on an island on Steel Lake. We woke up bright and early because we had a northeast wind warning. So we paddled up bright and early before the wind started to hit us. About 12 kilometers on Steel Lake. Hopped over 3 portages. The third we actually managed to hit. It was a fun Class 1 rapid. We then proceeded to hit 3 Class 1s in a row. The last of which we tipped on, but a huge pool at the bottom, so it was a relatively safe recovery. A bunch of fun continuous swifts for about 1.5 kilometers, a couple more Class 1s and swifts, and then we camped right along the shore on river left, or the east part of the shore, right along here. It was about a 24-kilometer day.
Morning!
Good morning.
Morning everyone. Today is the start of day 5 on the Steel River. Today is going from 7K down on the Steel River to Rainbow Falls, hitting mostly swifts, Class 1s, Class 2s, and 1 potential portage. Stopping for lunch somewhere along the way. It's currently very foggy and kind of cold, and everyone's socks are pretty wet, but I'm thinking that it'll open up and it'll be clear skies ahead, so we're gonna get out there.
Nicely done, team. We're doing portage 1 for the day right now, of maybe 2, around a for sure Class 2 set, which looks too big for us given the risk versus reward, given the fact that we do not have helmets with us. So just being aware of that and all absolutely playing it safe.
Quick fishing breakout here at this very nice beach campsite, which is not too much of a beach campsite in high water, right next to this cliff face. And enjoying the day out here. Blue skies all around.
We're currently cooking up the fish that I just caught and enjoying a lovely, slightly extended lunch out here on the Steel River. Fed the whole group. Everyone's super happy and ready to get going. We did not take any pictures of the fish while we were eating it because it was so delicious and ate it down to the bone.
But you see how it's got like the bluish tint, right? Like most walleyes don't have that.
Hard! Hard! Nope, normal, draw! Good, good! Nice! Nice!
Sorry there, if anything that was too much crossbow, but that was good.
That was sick.
Me and Duncan just shot that approximate class 2 and Cam and Matt are just about to have their go at it, I think. Went pretty well all things considered, and we scouted our line to make sure we were good to go. They got it. Shit. They made it down one way or another, but good to go. This is why you have trust issues. Just finishing up trip 1 of the Rainbow Falls Portage. What a cool spot. Oh, and a perfect campsite too, damn. Out at Rainbow Falls right now, and it's pretty much everything you could want in a waterfall. Huge, loud, wet, full of water, and having a great day out here. Sure is cool. Now, making it to Rainbow Falls is quite a big accomplishment for the group so far on the Steel River Loop. And to celebrate such an occasion, we have a little bit of Maker's Mark in our mug to sip and enjoy. So cheers. Tonight is chana masala with chickpeas, potatoes, broccoli, peppers, dehydrated diced tomatoes, plus quinoa cooked in a pan because we decided to be minimalist.
As I was saying, the only way I could justify getting out of my tent this morning was I'm not putting on my wet clothes until later. So, morning of day 5, we woke up right above this class 1 rapid. Campsite marker is actually above this little stream. And in the raising mist, first thing in the morning, we hit a handful of class 1s and swifts, which was a lot of fun. We proceeded to hit a marked class 2, which was a swift, and then portaged around a Rio class 2, which was too bony for us to get through. We proceeded with a little bit of lake paddling. We saw some cool looking campsites, a couple of swifts, and there's a beautiful campsite here which we stopped for a snack. We continued along a couple more swifts. There's a good size, what's marked as a class 2, which we all hit. Matt and I went down backwards. That was a lot of fun. A little bit more lake paddling, popping between class 1s here and some continuous swifts. The continuous swifts section was a lot of fun with cliff faces on both sides, really interesting part of the river, followed by kind of going from pool to pool, down little pieces of current, all the way to Rainbow Falls. We did the portage and we're camping right at the base of Rainbow Falls.
Morning everyone, today is the morning of day 6. Today we are going from Rainbow Falls to somewhere along the log jams, and it should be relatively not too bad, but we'll see how challenging the log jams end up being, which is pretty unknown. And it looks like clear skies ahead and the skies above. And took a little sleep in this morning to 7 a.m. instead of the regular 5:30 that we've been having. Correction to my previous statement about it being a nice day, we're getting a few raindrops right now, and it's kind of a sun shower.
We are down here at the bottom of Rainbow Falls, just about to leave the site, and we see these very cool moose prints, which were clearly made in the last 12 hours since we were last down here.
Is it full? So we think this is a smaller moose. So the diameter is not quite nearly as large as this bad boy here. So I think there's two. Both a foal, maybe, and a cow.
So what? I kind of missed what happened. You guys hit a rock.
So I saw all the rippling. I was like, that looks shallow as shit. Figured that the tree was blocking the deep water.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're gonna bottom out and walk the canoe along the shallow, without realizing that there was actually a deep channel right at the end of the tree.
I think we're almost making it though.
What, sir?
But I'm confused. Like, what happened when you hit the current? Like, I saw you guys hit the channel, and then did you hit a rock?
We came into the tree too tight. Like, we were parallel with the tree.
Yeah.
The current caught the front of the boat.
Right.
Too hard.
Right.
And I swung out, tipped to the right side. We took on water, and I bailed to try to prevent the boat from flipping.
Yeah. Okay. I see. That one that we kind of like just used to be a log jam, it was definitely the first one marked on.
Yeah.
Quick snack break on a Cliff Bar while my navigation guides do their job.
Sailing down the coast and up in New England, I was born to be a fiddler in an old town string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick a banjo now. Keeping getting me out, lost my money playing poker, so I had to walk away. But I ain't a turning back, living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, ain't no way you feel. Mama, rock me. Coffee time.
Coffee time.
We were just wrapping up a quick shore lunch right here of PB and jam and some coffee. And a very sunny day now after that morning rain. Basically almost immediately after lunch we turned a few corners and found the most workable campsite that we've basically seen all day. So we're just gonna stay here and
deal with whatever the log jams and rest of the river will bring us tomorrow. And enjoy this beach in the sun. Sometimes we leave our tent door open for 2 minutes in the woods and you get a lot of bugs that you don't even know the name of in there. We just got up from a long summer's day nap and briefly got woken up by some small rain showers, which made us all scramble to put on our fly. And we're just about to start dinner now, but that nap was much needed because my body was really feeling the effects of our work. Tonight's dinner is lentil shepherd's pie with mashed potatoes. Wrapping up the day here on the Steel River, day 6. Great day, thoroughly exhausted, great group energy today, and enjoying the rest of the evening right now.
And I am going to request I get a couple photos of myself. I don't think there's a single one.
I think I've taken one of you.
Or have you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's always what happens when this race. Because
Well, you have a bunch of fish pics. With some trophy bass, I'd say.
single bass.
Or pike.
Yeah. And there's the video of losing my mind catching a brook trout.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's how you make a coffee out in the woods, boys. Good morning, everyone. Today's the morning of day 7 on the Steel River Loop, and we are about to hit a bunch of log jams according to other Matt. He says they're all right around the corner from this little sand beach we're sleeping on. This is the first log jam that we're going around, and it looks like zero fun right now. Oh my god. And I'm really walking through the bush and cannot see my feet. Log jam number 2.
So there might be a trail.
Oh!
Oh, I'm sure.
Number 2, baby.
Damn, these logs are jammed.
Reminds me of the 401.
Ha ha ha. Currently portaging around the second log jam. It's pretty difficult and there's not much of a trail, but it's pretty bushcraft if you ask me. If anyone thought these log jams were fake, they're very real. Fun fact, log jam portage number 2 goes straight into log jam portage number 3 from this log jam right here. What fun. We're done 3 out of 3 log jams so far, and that was absolutely brutal. Zero fun, tough to find the trail, rough trail, in and out of the sandbanks and steep ledges and stuff, and we're just gonna keep on going here. Another day, another cliff bar. Some very clear signs of wolf prints right here.
Stick together, team.
Tuning into the logjam report, logjam number 4, just before 11 o'clock this morning. And this one's pretty long and has a fairly well-marked portage actually, so not too bad right now. All these logs and the price of lumber these days, my gosh. This is ridiculous. Heard about a double barrel shotgun, but what about a double barrel cam? Cruising along out here with my navigation experts in the back and steering experts, and they're doing a pretty decent job while I eat all the snacks. We potentially might be passing the injuncture from Larry's Lake. Some sort of animal carcass on the beach right there. Maybe a moose. Some sort of large mammal. Just scampered up what should be the last log jam of the day. And it was a tough one. Extremely muddy, unpleasant, wouldn't recommend. But Santoy I would recommend. We are done the last logjam portage. The bugs were absolutely brutal on it, and we're almost getting our way to Santoy now. Feeling dehydrated, excited to be back to Santoy on a beauty day on the Steel River. On the end of day 7 of trip, we find ourselves back at Santoy Lake, and with the remaining third of our tequila rations, we are here to celebrate, justly so.
Cheers, boys. It's a great trip.
Cheers. Ding. Tonight is chickpea sweet potato curry. So there we were on the river, meandering our way down. And Duncan and I, who are in the front, see the tail end of a bald eagle just take off when we rounded a corner. And called over Matt. Matt quieted down to see if we can go around the corner to see if the bald eagle was still there. But while we were quiet, we saw a crow picking at something with a lot of bugs buzzing around, and there's a dead moose carcass, or a moose carcass, that was kind of rotting in the water. And as we kind of moved our way away from it, there along the shores of the river were a pair of wolf tracks. So we imagine either the wolves scavenged the moose or the wolves actually killed the moose and everything else was scavenged. So never seen wolf tracks before, that was the first one. And then about 5 kilometers down river, we saw more moose tracks and another moose carcass. More wolf tracks and another moose carcass. And Looks like we have some serial hunters on the loose.
Today we started from the sandbank beach that we stayed at last night on the Steel River and went all the way down to Santoy Beach. We encountered about 5 log jams, most of which had pretty challenging portages with a lot of challenging take-in and take-outs. But we made it through a pretty hot and steamy day in one piece. It was a pretty good day and an enjoyable one to almost finish it up here.
So there's nothing quite like starting a trip with a pretty stiff headwind heading towards one of the hardest portages you think you've ever done in your life. Without a doubt, one of the highlights for me was Diablo Portage, but that should surprise no one. And it has literally been downhill ever since. Climbing up that pretty steep 200, 250 meters or so right off the start, and then scrambling through a bunch of boulder fields was definitely a challenge that I relished and was looking forward to, and I'm glad we got her done. Because after that, it was a beautiful trip. A couple pretty challenging portages afterwards, but obviously nothing kind of the same level as that.
Really enjoyed the topography of the region. This is our first time in kind of like a superior shore canoe trip. We have these hills approaching mountains that line on the lakes around here, and that kind of topography isn't really frequent in Ontario.
An absolute highlight of this trip for me was just the overall scenery for sure. The rolling, super large hills, but not mountains, just made it all the more better.
Just these beautiful rolling hills, these open cliff faces, stuff that we're just not used to seeing while paddling, especially in southern Ontario. It really gave us, I don't know, something to work for.
On Cairngorm and Steel, wherever the previous forest fire was, it really showed you how different the regrowth section was with compared to the old growth that you could easily see out there.
Know why this trip is so remote. It's difficult. The portages are not easy, but with lakes like that, views like that, it makes it all worth it.
In tandem with the remoteness of where we are, has just been the sheer lack of other people that we've come across. I think this is the first time in our trips that we've gone a full week without seeing anyone. And as much as that sounds a little weird to say, it is kind of nice to be out there, knowing that you're kind of on your own, you have your own space to figure stuff out.
We've been more successful in amount and types of fish caught, fish species, than in prior trips. That's kind of cool, the fact that we're getting actually a good number of calories from the land that we travel on in a sustainable and effective way. I've really been enjoying that.
The easiest top highlight for me was catching a blue walleye after Cam had caught multiple fish. So that was pretty big.
I caught my first brook trout, I caught my first blue walleye, and I caught 2 simultaneous PR pikes one day after the next. So, you know, how can I not like that fishing result?
Felt like a big learning opportunity in terms of reading whitewater, practicing whitewater, and navigating it. Despite, you know, falling out of the boat just once, almost twice. I think it's also really important to give a shout out to the Bigtigong Anishinaabe peoples who have marked almost every portage that we've used on this trail around the Steel River Loop. Seemingly they've maintained every portage from the Diablo climb, which is itself pretty treacherous, but many of the backcountry portages as well that connect the lakes that we relied on to make this trip possible. I can't understate enough how valuable that is, just to know that someone else has been out here, has made use of the same trails, has kept them in good shape and kept them clear, so that guys like us who have never been here before can make their way.
Morning everyone. Day 8 here. Last night I tried to take some star photos and I think they turned out pretty okay, but 5:30 for day 8 right now, and we're gonna get going across Santoy Lake.
I hate sand. Gets everywhere. It's coarse and grainy. Just makes everything uncomfortable.
Last day on trip calls for a celebration of gummy bears in our oatmeal.
We're on Santoy Beach, just finishing up breakfast, enjoying a little bit of coffee, staying nice and warm before we hit the water. We have about 10 to 12 kilometers from this beach site down the entirety of the lake. The water looks very different from when we were here a week ago, but we're excited to get through this, get back to the car, probably pack that thing up as horribly as possible, strap the canoes to the top, and make a mad dash to the closest Tim Hortons, because we're all craving an ice cap or an iced coffee or something like that. But in the meantime, we're enjoying a beautiful morning. Like it's hard to beat this. On a beach site like this, the bugs actually aren't too horrible close to the fire. They're insane once you step away, but that is what it is. But beautiful view right down to the bottom of the lake, as we'll make our line straight down, I think. I'm looking forward to wrapping this one up. It's been a great one. Thanks for following along.
Let's get her done.
There's Diablo right there.